Hi, I'm Rollie Dimos, and I'm the Internal Auditor for the Assemblies of God. And today I want to share with you 10 key controls that you can put in place in your organization to prevent church fraud. You might ask, is church fraud a big deal? And yes, it is. Listen to some of these stats. It's estimated that every organization and every church loses 5% of their revenue to fraud and abuse each year. And when fraud and abuse occurs, the median loss is $90,000. And it's estimated that 1 out of every 10 churches has already discovered fraud. Now, when you put all this together, globally, in Christianity, we've lost $60 billion to fraud every year. Can you imagine what the church world could do if we had $60 billion more to perform ministry with? That's incredible. So it can happen, and it does happen. So if you'll put these controls in place, you'll protect your church from this risk of fraud. So here they are. Number 1, embrace accountability and transparency. That means, Pastor, you demonstrate that accountability is part of your church culture. Make it part of your DNA, and it starts at the top. Number 2, document your policies and procedures. If you've got some financial rules, put it in writing. That way, everyone knows the standard that they have to meet. You can clarify your expectations by putting your policies in writing. There'll be no confusion when they're in writing. Number 3, minimize exceptions. If you've gone to the effort of putting your policies in writing, then expect everyone to follow them. Everyone should play by the same rules, and that includes our top leaders. Number 4, segregate key financial duties. That's an accounting phrase for making sure that there's 2 sets of eyes on every transaction, whether it's cash coming in or cash being spent. 2 people are involved, and that way you can hold each other accountable. And when we have accountability and transparency in our finances, we have integrity in our finances. So these next 6 steps, they're real specific, but it demonstrates accountability in our processes. For example, number 5, 2 people should count the offering and prepare the deposit. I've heard many churches where just one person is in the back room counting the offering, or a trusted deacon, a trusted board member takes the offering home and counts it. That's great. I'm sure they're not doing anything wrong, but you open people up to temptation or accusations when you're not accountable. So have 2 people count the offering. Number 6, when one person takes that offering to the bank for a deposit, you need to reconcile that deposit receipt with the count sheet. So when that person comes back, that second person reconciles and makes sure that what got deposited is what was expected. Number 7, never sign blank checks. I've seen abuse happen because we just sign a check and leave it blank. Well, that leaves opportunity for someone to steal from the church. I know it's convenient, but it's not a good best practice. So similarly, don't sign a check for payment until you see the receipt or the invoice. When you're signing a check, make sure that you have proper documentation behind it. That way, your transactions are accountable. Number 8, require receipts for all transactions, whether it's reimbursing some travel expenses or reimbursing some meal expenses. Require receipts. Not only is it required by the IRS, but it's good to have receipts for transparency in your finances. Number 9, review and approve credit card purchases on a monthly basis. Now, credit cards are very convenient if it's a church credit card. But we can quickly lose control of our finances. We can quickly overspend on our budget. We can be tempted to use the church credit card for personal purchases, whether intentionally or unintentionally. So The statement isn't enough. You need to have every transaction validated with a receipt and then approved by a second person. And number 10, reconcile the bank account on a monthly basis. Reconciling the bank account, again, it's an accounting term, but it's necessary. It means that someone else is looking at all the financial activity for the month and validating it. So if your bookkeeper can write the check and sign the check, then someone else needs to take a look at that bank statement and all of the activity for the month. If one person can sign the check, and enter the finances, it's possible to hide abuse. So that's why a reconciliation is necessary. So Pastor, if you'll put these 10 key controls in place in your church, you'll greatly reduce the risk of fraud and strengthen your financial processes.